So now you know I sell tape measures, and now you know that if I'm talking to you, what am I going to try to sell you?
Something bigger. Hi, and welcome to Nicole Reacts, where I, Nicole, react to online marketing gurus that I find on the internet. My qualifications for snark and commentary are that I've owned a marketing company for 15 years. And in that time, I've worked with hundreds of clients on marketing strategy and implementation. So I have a fair bit of content knowledge about marketing and experience with marketing. So today's person is one that I'm sure you've heard of if you've been in any kind of self-help or MLM, anti-MLM circles, and that's Chalene Johnson. Now, Chalene is a motivational speaker, health expert, and all of that. What I think is interesting is I can't find a Wikipedia about her. And the only other people I haven't been able to find Wikipedias for are like Grant Cardone, who's a Scientologist. Chalene says she's a devout Christian, so I don't think that's the case here. I'm just not sure why there isn't a wiki entry about her. There is only her own autobiography about her. But what you need to know essentially is that she kind of got her start in sort of fitness and health, and obviously has since pivoted into motivational guru type content. What I want to look at with you before we watch the videos we're going to watch today is the variety of content that Chalene uploads on her YouTube channel, which you'll see why I have a hard time sort of pegging her for a particular thing. But you'll also see why I feel very comfortable talking about her marketing, because she has done marketing trainings. Now, I know at one point she was with Beachbody, probably for the sort of health reasons. I think she's done fitness classes with them or for them. But I know that she has done trainings with Rank Makers, which is Ray Higdon's group. And I know that she's done social media trainings both on behalf of other gurus and also on her own sort of channels and things like that. So let's take a look at her YouTube channel. All right, so here's her YouTube channel. So she's an attractive, woman. She's likely in her 50s, I'm guessing. And a lot of her stuff is health content. So we see the featured video is a cardio versus strength training video. And her stuff ranges from personal to interviews with subject matter experts to motivational. So her shorts, for example, the truth about being a mom and a business owner, create moments that give ALZ patients purpose. I don't know what ALZ is, but why introverts like being alone, why aging is a state of mind, gym etiquette for beginners, and why get married, my story. So obviously there's more shorts than that. Those are just the ones that are showing here. And let's take a look at the video content. She seems to upload, supposedly she says new videos every week. But if we look at the actual videos, you see that this last one that's here was uploaded 3 months ago, 3 months ago, and then 4 months ago, 4 months ago, 5 months ago, 5 months ago. So it seems to be like every 2 weeks, right? Not every single week. So in terms of her long format videos, we have I tried Lashify lashes for 30 days, my honest review. Instagram algorithm changed, small accounts. We're going to watch that one, don't worry. 5 fitness mistakes to avoid for women over 40. Amazon leggings haul, my favorite affordable leggings. Look hot for less, fashion over 40 Amazon. Cardio versus strength training, why you're not seeing results. So her content is kind of all over the place. It's lifestyle, it's health, it's business, it's motherhood. It's all over the place. So believe it or not, I'm a former customer of Shalene's, not of her marketing programs, which is what you'd think. But, while I was going through my divorce, I was getting really deep into self-help stuff, like trying to improve myself. And so I bought her 131 Diet, which after buying it, she rebranded from 131 Diet to 131 Method. Now, I didn't keep that email where she said she was doing that, but it was for the reasons you would think, right? It was like, well, this is a lifestyle, and like it's not about dieting, it's about feeling better about yourself. It's like all that kind of stuff, right? But when you log into the portal, essentially it's a collection of videos. I will give her credit from mainly subject matter experts. Like she had some registered dietitians in there. I think she did have at least one physician in there from what I remember. And the videos were talking about things like how to naturally lower your cortisol, or what effects getting natural light has on your metabolism and things like that. So It was a collection of videos and it was also a collection of recipes. So in terms of recipes, think like maki rolls, but quinoa instead of rice and a lot more vegetables than you'd normally put in there, that kind of thing. So it was like clean eating essentially. And the idea with the 131 is you did like a certain kind of eating for 1 week, and then you did a certain kind of eating for, I think, 3 weeks, and then you did something else for 1 week. I don't know. There was something with like the timing of it that makes 131 make sense. I tried it, it didn't work, whatever. Now, for fun, I saw that there was a login screen because I didn't see any pricing on the website. The 131 method website is still online, but I didn't see any way to like sign on. So I was curious, so I just reset my password and I tried to reset it with one email and it said we sent instructions. And then I tried to reset it with a completely different email and it said, "Oh, this email is in the system." But the first one said it had sent instructions. So while it hasn't got to my email box just yet, I might check it at the end of this video and see if it has arrived. Spoiler alert, it never arrives. But anyway, so we're talking obviously about Chalene's marketing content. She's done a lot of trainings about marketing. She sells marketing programs. So what I wanted to do today, because people seem to like this, they seem to like looking at several short videos. So we're going to do that with her today because a lot of her content on her YouTube channel is pretty short. It's around like the sort of 8 to 10 minute mark. So we're going to look at several videos as a package and see if through those videos we can learn stuff and see if she knows obviously what she's talking about when it comes to marketing. All right, so we're going to watch the most guru-y video first because why not? And it doesn't really have to do about marketing, except it's a Q&A style, which I think is a form of marketing content. And the title of it is Why I Talk About Being an 8-Figure Earner, Answering Overly Personal Questions, Part 3. So you'll see, obviously, with the title, right? Like why I would want to watch that video, because all these gurus talk about being 7-figure, 8-figure, 9-figure businesses. So let's see how she talks about it and if she reviews any guru tendencies in this first video. And then the next two videos are going to be more sort of tactical and about sort of social media marketing. So without further ado, let's see what Chalene has to say about being an 8-figure earner. Prepare your hearts.
There was a time when we were making a lot of money and had all the things except the feeling that I wanted to feel, which was peace. I did not feel peace.
Poor Chalene. She had so much money, but she didn't feel peace.
What is your position on network marketing organizations or MLMs?
Oh, that's going to be a good one.
It's like anything. I think there are really crappy doctors out there who do not care and who take advantage and abuse patients. And I think there are patients out there who are saving lives and are.
That's right. Chalene Johnson thinks that some network marketing professionals are saving lives. All right. I have my thoughts on this already, but I'll let her continue.
Are in it for the right reasons. So I think the same is true of all organizations, whether it's network marketing or real estate or finance, like whatever it is. There are people who give it a bad name, and then there are people who are doing it the right way. And
I think the examples she uses here are interesting. So she says network marketing, real estate, finance. Okay. So real estate and finance are types of businesses, right? She didn't say supplement companies. She didn't say beauty brands. She said network marketing companies. So it distinguishes what they're selling from the structure, right? So the MLM is the structure, right? But if you look at the company, they're like, well, what do they sell? They all sell different things. So wouldn't they be in different categories like finance and real estate and retail beauty products and, personal enjoyment products, that kind of thing?
I think it depends. I think that I personally know, I don't know, gosh, probably more than 40 or 50. Yeah, probably more than 50 people who have, like, it's either helped them to become a multimillionaire or they've earned hundreds of thousands of dollars in network marketing. And I know that's not true of everybody who.
It's not true of most people. And also, like, you have a lot of money, so you're going to run into other people who have a lot of money, right? It's like this sort of like confirmation bias, I think is what it's called. This idea that like because you see it more, like you think it's more prevalent than it is.
who enters in it. But it's true of a lot of the folks that I hang out with, and that is because I personally think they would have been successful in just about any business. And I think that there are people who think that it's like a ready-made business. You still have to be an entrepreneur. You still have to work your butt off. It's still hard. You still have to sell. You still and those things are really good. It's a good way to learn how to be in business if you're thinking about starting your own business, because a lot of network marketing organizations teach business strategy and how to create systems and how to replicate those things.
You can learn that from a lot of other places besides joining an MLM.
But I will say this, I think it is a risky proposition to call it your own business. You have to treat it like it's your own business. However, if that network marketing organization just like closes its doors, or something happens, or they vote on a law and say that it changes the status of independent contractors versus employees, et cetera, it could all go away. And then do you really own it if it all goes away? So
Okay, well, I appreciate that part of it anyway, but it's sort of like saying I appreciate a free dinner roll at a really crappy restaurant.
think it's a wonderful place to get started and to start to make your money. But it is just as any business, there's going to be a lot of people who lose money and fail. That's true of network marketing too. And if you do start to make money and you are successful in that business or any business, as I always say, you've got to diversify. You need multiple streams of income.
If you really want to start a business, start a service-based local business. You might lose money if you decide to start a lawnmowing company and you buy the lawnmower and you only mow 3 lawns, but you'll eventually recoup your cost. So you're not holding inventory, you don't have a location, you're not hiring anyone. So I'm not saying running a business is no risk, because there's always a risk, but if you start something very small and specific and grow from there, I think that's a lot less risky than a multi-level marketing company. I'll be completely honest with you.
Multiple streams of income. If you're just like sitting back like, oh, this is never going away, that's very risky, incredibly risky. And I would also say, okay, last question, because this actually kind of leads into it, which is you list that you are an 8-figure earner. Why do you do that? And where does your money come from?
Yeah. Why do you keep saying that? And I'm guessing a lot of her money at this point comes from investments, and like, so when you have a certain amount of money, it's like how like trust funds work, right? So like if you have a certain amount of money, you can just live off of the interest. So at a certain point, you don't necessarily have to go out and mow 6 lawns a day to keep making money if your money is sitting somewhere that is producing revenue, right? So I'm guessing she makes a lot of it off of investments. I'm guessing she's probably into real estate. She has a real estate vibe about her, but a lot of people, they hold real estate, they have investments, like whether that's retirement accounts or just investment accounts in general. And she probably has multiple businesses. So if one of them, so say the body positivity movement tanks your diet app. Well, okay, you also have, these fitness DVDs you're selling. You also have this marketing classes that you're selling and all of that. So I'm guessing it's a series of those things. And I'm guessing she's made a lot of her money selling courses, honestly, or selling workouts.
I get it, because it does feel kind of braggadocious,
Mm-hmm.
but it's true. And it's also credibility. And I teach people when it comes to marketing, when it comes to people trusting you for your credibility, that's part of the credibility, is explaining to people that we are 8-figure earners.
Okay, so being able to make money shows that you know what you're doing theoretically. But what it doesn't tell you, if you're watching this person, is where did they get their initial money? You know, did they marry a rich guy? Did they inherit wealth? Did they sell a .com company in the early 90s, and they've just invested that money. You know what I mean? Like, they don't tell you that part. So it's kind of like if someone starts the race 5 seconds ahead of you, yeah, if you're a faster runner, you can still beat them, but it's a lot harder. I also think it's interesting that for this video, she's chosen her kitchen as the background. So if you're listening to this and not watching this, she has a blurred kind of kitchen behind her. It's a nice looking kitchen. I think, I don't know, that stove has red knobs. I think that's a Sub-Zero thing. Um, or maybe it's a Viking stove. I feel like there's a certain stove that has red knobs. I'll see if I can find out and throw it on the screen if I do when I'm editing this video. But so she has this clearly nice kitchen behind her and it's blurred. But you would think someone with her money would have a home office or some other, but she wants to kind of be like us here. And so she's situating herself in this room like a lot of us sit in to work on our businesses, you know, at the kitchen table. So I think that this setting is purposeful.
Myself and my husband together, and it is not from my fitness income, but certainly much of that fitness income allowed us to, because we sold multiple companies, but we've been doing this for 30 years. And there's a period of time when we were $500,000 in debt and really, really bad at managing money. And that nearly destroyed us and our marriage. And we vowed together to change that.
Imagine that you've been in a situation where you had $500,000 to lose and were able to recover from that. You know, I think it's easy to talk about the hardship, right? Once it's past, you know, and all these gurus, right? Like they were suffering, but now they've arrived. And I think that's what she's doing here. But just because someone has money, it doesn't mean they necessarily knew what they were doing. And the opposite obviously is true as well.
And we also vowed to make certain that our money works harder than we do. So the 8-figure earnings come from a multitude of different streams of income. And I would say the largest of which is managing our stocks and portfolios. And that's
She sold multiple businesses and has stocks and portfolios. She's going to also mention real estate here, I bet.
Entirely Brett. Our investments, that is possible because of our multiple streams of other incomes, right? So we have Smart Life Inc. We've got my podcast, a professional podcaster with 5 episodes per week. The Chalene Show is a top-rated podcast in lifestyle, and Build Your Tribe is a top-rated podcast in marketing. Those make us income. We have multiple streams of income from our online courses. So we have online courses that we've been operating for the last, 15 years, 10 years at least, 12 years, that teach people how to start and build their own businesses. And we have lifetime members of that. We've got tens of thousands of students in there. And then my son Brock and I operate a business together. That's an additional stream of income. I do affiliate marketing. I guess you'd call
Hence the Amazon legging video.
Influencer marketing, although I kind of have a very specific way that I prefer to talk about products that I love. So
I do influencer marketing, but I do it differently.
When companies come to me, they're like, hey, we want to collab with you. Will you do a post about this or that? I usually won't do that. It has to be something I already love. And then I usually reach out to that company and say like, hey, I'm constantly talking about for example, this. So I'm constantly talking about, this is the skincare that I use. It's called Katie Skin. And so I just reached out to the doctor who created this line, and I'm like, hey, could I get a discount code for my audience? And she's like, sure. So she gave me the discount code for her products. It gives people 15% off, but it also gives me an affiliate payment. So to be completely transparent, I don't know what it is. It's not even why I do it.
It's not why I do it, except I reached out to the doctor and asked for this specifically. Here's the thing, like if you have hundreds of thousands of people who follow you, right, and you're making a few sales a month, even if you're only making 3% or 5% or 10%, it still adds up when you have a large enough audience that's buying the things you're recommending. So it's not why you do it because you have all these other streams of income, but you wouldn't have necessarily mentioned that thing unless you had the discount code either, right?
I do it more so because I always think, like, if I can get people a discount, I will. Like some things you just can't, right? Like some things I talk about all the time, and tried to see if that company will give my audience a discount, and they just don't even respond. So anyways, multiple streams of income is something that takes time. You can't do it overnight. It takes time. I've done a podcast detailing all of this. So if you look up breaking down our 8, I'll put a link in the show notes, or I'll put a link here in the description. Is that what you do on YouTube? But I did a podcast on that, breaking down all the different streams. But each stream, you put a stream in place like one at a time. And I break down that whole process. It's, you guys, I've been doing this forever. Like, so somebody who's watching this who's like 35 years old, girl, I'm almost 20 years ahead of you. So I'm 52 when I'm recording this, it's going to be 53. I've been doing this for a long time. So don't compare yourself to anyone else for that matter. Who cares? You know, how much money you make doesn't matter. What matters is how do you feel?
It doesn't matter when you have enough money to pay your bills, how much money you make, right? Like there's a certain base amount of money that we all theoretically need. And once we have that covered, we can kind of relax a little bit, or at least know that, you know, we're not worried we're going to be homeless or not be able to get to our jobs, or, you know, because of transportation issues or whatever. So it's really easy to say like, oh, it's not about the money when you have enough money. But also like she has a big audience. So like a lot of these things are possible when you have a very large audience. Like I've been creating content for 15 years. I know I'm a baby 41 years old. I guess Chalene is 11 years ahead of me. But I've been creating content for a long time, and I think my content's pretty good, but I don't have the numbers that Chalene Johnson has. You know what I mean? And she has, it sounds like, a 5 times weekly podcast. Fine. She uploads 2 YouTube videos a month and has over 100,000 subscribers. So, you know, I'm uploading more than that, and I don't even have 500 at this point. So, yeah, I'm just saying, like, a lot of these things are possible when your audience is big enough. And some of these things, you know, yeah, maybe you can make a few bucks off AdSense a month if you have a small blog, but that's not enough to like pay your bills in a real way. So, um, so yeah, just keep that in mind with a lot of these influencer type people. They can make big money affiliates because they have a big audience already.
Like, do you feel secure? Do you feel peaceful? Do you feel happy? Because there was a time when we were making a lot of money and had all the things except the feeling that I wanted to feel, which was peace. I did not feel peace. And so I don't care. Like,
so how did you find the peace then? Because you clearly still have the money and now you have the peace. So how did you find the peace? I don't think she's going to tell us that part.
You know, I know that impresses some people, but I don't care about that. The most important thing to me is that I feel a sense of peace. And if I feel a sense of peace, then I feel like I'm successful.
So then why keep bringing up the 8-figure thing?
And yeah, money helps that, right? Like money makes it easier to make difficult decisions sometimes. Like I know that it is a luxury to not have to worry sometimes, where I hear like other people like having to think about, oh, here's a great example. My husband, Brett, has neuropathy, and it's been getting better. It set in June of 2021. And what is it? Like we're almost 6 months later now, and it keeps getting better. But every single treatment that he does, none of them are covered by insurance. And that is, so in my mind, like that is crazy to me that just somebody out there is experiencing the very same thing as him, but they're maybe don't have any relief because they can't afford to do these things out of pocket, number one, and the insurance companies don't cover anything related to health. It's so annoying. That's a whole nother rant.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a real luxury, and that is,
should health be a luxury though, right?
that for sure, that makes life better and makes life easier, that we don't have to struggle with the decision like, should we pay for this out of pocket? It's like, yes, absolutely, your health matters more than anything, and we want you to get well as quickly as possible, and we're in this position where we can afford to do that. Another example of that would be this lawsuit that I'm, you know, standing up and fighting for the rights of other patients and victims. And
oh yeah, she had something with a plastic surgeon. So this plastic surgeon, I don't know if it's a botched surgery on her side or if it just like led to health complications, or if he just ripped her off financially. Like I'm not quite sure what it is, but she is going after this plastic surgeon who apparently fucked a lot of people over besides her.
are you kidding? I couldn't afford to do this if I didn't have these multiple streams of income. And so thank you to those of you who've reached out and said, is there a GoFundMe for that? There is. You know what I always say? You have supported me. You've supported me by clicking on links and by purchasing items, and by supporting us by, being in our academies and, doing my workouts. Like, all of those things are how you have supported us. And I am
good. I'm glad you're not asking your supporters for money, especially if you keep talking about how you're an 8-figure earner. That would be ridiculous.
I'm incredibly grateful, and I know to whom much is given, much is expected. And Brett and I are on the same page that we will, we're in this position to help other people. And if we have to spend a whole lot of our money to do so, we're in this position because of that. And I think that's the right thing to do. I hope you enjoyed this. Be sure, if you don't mind, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel, and then you can click the bell, and that will notify you when I upload a new video. I can do more videos like this. I know I do a lot of interviews, etc. But tell me.
All right, we're going to stop this video and move on to the next one. All right, as a little palate cleanser between videos, I thought we'd look at her website and see what kinds of products she has for sale and at what price point. Because she talked in this video about how people have been really supportive of her, and because of that, she's able to, do things that other people maybe wouldn't be able to do, like go after this plastic surgeon jerk face, apparently. So as you see here, focus on what matters most. So, oh yeah, the other thing too, she says, helping easily distracted, highly motivated people create a hustle-free, super dope life. She's been really leaning into an ADHD diagnosis that she must have gotten somewhere around COVID times. I mean, I know we're still in COVID times, but you know what I mean? Like 2020, 2021. Because I know that a lot of her like sort of short format video content I noticed on TikTok was all about having ADHD. But what's really interesting is if we looked at the first series of videos, there was no like deep diving content about ADHD. So we have ADHD, we have health, we have marketing, we have motivation, we have business. All right, so I was going to go to programs, but it makes me log in. So I'm going to go under shop. And what's funny is like, I can't just go and see everything she has for sale. I have to go to individual pages. So Insta Club Hub, get more reach from Instagram in 5 minutes a day. Affiliate login, so you can affiliate her course. All for less than $1 a day, but how much is it? It is $47 a month or $299 a year. Okay, so that's for the Instagram Hub. So it's $1 a day, but it's a monthly charge. So it's not like something you buy once and then are done with. And if you notice here, the URL changed from chalenejohnson.com to instaclubhub.propel.com. So it's almost like this has like a landing page. So let's try a different thing. Marketing Impact Academy. All right, so we go to marketingimpactacademy.com, completely separate website. So there's an affiliate FAQ. So clearly you can affiliate her course. And oh my God. Oh my God. Marketing Impact Academy for 8 payments of $647. But the best value is 1 full payment of just under $5,000. Okay, Chalene, you're a freaking grifter. That is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. I can't even believe the price point of this. Also, the homepage of this website, like, ew, I could have designed this in like 2 hours. Is this Divi? Hold on. Yep. I know the theme. All right, and we're going to look at one more program. I want to pick something that isn't marketing. All right, so money matters, so it's green. Okay. Little on the nose there, but also like what do these people know about money? Like they have money, but they're not certified financial planners, they're not financial coaches, they don't have finance degrees. Like, who are these people? Money Matters 101, getting out of debt. But again, like, okay, $129. About Brett. So he has built several multi-million-dollar lifestyle companies with his wife, Chalene. and count countless others on how to do the same. I bet he can count them. But he doesn't have any kind of credentials or any kind of fiduciary obligation, right? So this is $129 we can learn about money from these people without absolutely any credentials. Great. All right, so on to video 2. This video is 8 minutes and 30 seconds long, and it's called How to Get Followers for Life on Instagram. It's quite the promise. Let's see if it delivers. Okay, somehow this opening up this video unlocked some core memory for me because I did used to listen to her podcast a lot. I think she calls her followers lifers. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that's actually true, but something in my brain says that that's true. But let's see if she refers to us as lifers.
Your company sells tape measures, and you're like,
Okay, you've stood like that on your exercise DVDs before. Okay, we don't need to make fun of people.
if you're a singer, pick someone in the industry who you're like, I want to be them, right? Or if you're an actor, you pick someone in the industry and say, I want to be them. If you love motivational speaking, you see someone, you're like, I want to be them. I want to be Tony Robbins. I want to be Phil.
Okay, she's pro MLM and she likes Tony Robbins. I can see why I stopped listening a few years ago.
In the blank top executive in network marketing, and you say to yourself, I want to be them. So what we do is then we look at that person. But if you want to be a singer and you're watching what Beyonce is doing online, you would think then, okay, so what I need to do is change my hair like every other day. I need to have fabulous vacations, post a lot about my lifestyle. Probably not very much singing, but like just a lot about my lifestyle, right? Because that's what you're seeing her do.
I'll be curious. As our palette cleanser for this video, we're going to go look at her Instagram and I'm going to see how much of her stuff is lifestyle content.
If I were trying to be Tony Robbins and I was watching what he was doing, I would think like, oh, okay. So I need to just show up at really large events and I need to network with like the richest, most famous people. Okay, so if I want to, oh, I know, I want to be Sarah Robbins. I want to be Janelle Summers. I want to be John and Nadia Melton. These are all top earners in the industry in different MLMs. Now, if you're following them, you're going to see them kind of posting about everything. They're posting about their kids, their families, their dogs.
Kind of sounds like you, Chalene.
Their food, like all the things, lifestyle. And that's appropriate because they are where they are. Because they first became known for something. You have to become known for something first in order to have permission to post on all of the things. If you don't already have a huge social media following, then ladies and gentlemen, you have to be known for something. You have to be known for something first. That has to happen before anything else. Because if you're not known for anything, then why am I going to follow you? If I show up on your page and you have 400 followers, right? And it's just a slice of your life. How are you different from any of the other 4 billion people on Instagram?
I don't know. Maybe look at some of my content first instead of looking at my follower number, Chalene.
Why do I need to follow? Why would I follow you? Oh, and worse yet, you're posting photos with your product. Your company sells tape measures, and you're like, so now you know I sell tape measures, and now you know that if I'm talking to you, what am I going to try to sell you?
Something bigger.
Every time you post a photo with your product, you are telling people that's what you sell. You're also telling them the name of it, and you're also telling them that's why I'm here. So when you get that message from me, I'm your girl when it comes to tape measures, right?
That would be memorable, actually.
You can't expect people to want to follow you and to grow your following if there's not a reason to. I need to know what is in it for me. Why would I want to follow you? Does that make sense? And so why is it when you guys follow someone, what is it that makes you follow them? When you find somebody's new page, what is it about that page where you're like, okay, that's kind of interesting?
They have a unique perspective. They have a way of looking at something that I've never thought of before. They live a completely different life that I am intrigued by. I mean, I can think of any number of reasons I would follow someone.
I could follow this page. What is it about that page? And wait before you answer, because sometimes I ask this question and people aren't thinking about it.
Oh my God, stop hitting your microphone.
They're like, they look interesting. No, that's not true. You follow
Yeah.
people because it's like, oh, I can tell I can tell they're funny, or I can tell this is good fashion, or I can tell I'm going to get good fit food tips, or, oh, I love the body positivity stuff that they do, or I love the
How is that different from thinking someone's interesting?
naturopathic, or I love the quote. Like there's something about it where you're like, oh, I love this about it. If I land on your page, how do I know what problem you help me solve? Go to your Instagram, or
This got really weird.
just think about your Instagram and ask yourself, when a stranger's looking at your Instagram, is it immediately apparent when they look at your profile what it is you do? Does it say you help people with health? That's a real broad category. When you
Pot, meat, kettle. Your lady, your stuff is so broad. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you talk about health, you talk about fitness, you talk about kids, you talk about business, you talk about motivation. Lady, you're all over the place.
So look at your Instagram bio and ask yourself, is it too broad? Because you really need to niche it down so that when people click on,
You need to niche it down, but I'm not going to niche it down because I'm big enough to not follow the rules.
because otherwise, hello, isn't 50% of Instagram there to help people with their health? So
It's a big concern because we live in a shitty country that like doesn't have paid for health insurance and our food systems are screwed, and yeah, we need a lot of help with our health. It's like the most important part of us, right? So that's why a lot of us are interested in health, right?
but I'm looking for someone who can help me lose weight fast. I'm looking for someone who can help me lose weight after my baby. I'm looking for someone who can help me find clothes that are affordable. I'm looking for someone who can help me find an alternative way to heal my body. I'm looking for somebody who can help me
Alternative to what?
with supplements that are affordable and proven. Like, like
Supplements is a pretty big category too. What am I supplementing? Am I supplementing because I'm losing my hair and I want to make sure that I'm giving my body the nutrients that it needs to try to keep the hair that I do have? Am I taking nutrients because I feel low energy and I want to feel increased energy? Like, there's a lot of room in there. If you want to niche down, or you're telling people to niche down, they need to niche down more than take some of these pills. I didn't go to medical school, but I'm here to sell them to you.
all of these, like sports performance, very, very specific. Whatever it is you do, it needs to be super duper specific, or it doesn't help people. It's still not clear how you are helping people. You're trying to do all the things that you see this
Okay, number one mistake, trying to be Beyonce, the fuel that makes the engine soar. Does that make any sense to anyone else watching this?
successful person who you're trying to emulate. You see them doing that, and it's a good quality. And you were probably taught, as was I, that success leaves clues. And so that's why we try to look at what Beyonce's doing, and we try to do what she's doing, but it's just a big mistake because we don't know where she started. We're forgetting about the beginning. We're forgetting about what it looked like to start. Okay, so let's talk about, what did it look like for Beyonce to start? What did it look like for anyone who started at anything in the beginning? What did it look like? They focused on one freaking thing, and that's all they did. Justin Bieber, all he did was go to radio station after radio station after radio station, and YouTube, YouTube, YouTube. He became known as the YouTube singer. What did I do when I was struggling to be known? Even though I was working as a paralegal, I had a used car business. I know I was selling ebooks. I was trying to license a personal training business. I was also trying to market to teach women how to start a business from home. And I was doing that in hotels. I was doing all these things. And then I was also teaching fitness, get this, as a hobby. All the other things were businesses. I was just teaching fitness because I was trying to like, keep the weight off and have fun exercising. But that one wasn't a business. All the other ones were businesses. But a very direct mentor of mine told me, you're never going to be successful until you focus on one thing and you're trying to do all the things. So nobody knows you for anything. You're trying to do all the things. And frankly, that's what a lot of you are doing right now on social media. You're trying to be all the things. What is it you figured out? Just focus on that. Are you an incredible cook? And I don't mean just all of your posts are centered around that, but the majority of it should be like, okay, this is the person you follow for home workouts. This is the person you follow to figure out how to survive as a single mom trying to do all the things after a horribly devastating divorce. This is the woman that you follow because she understands exactly how to heal your child from autism because she's going through it. Like,
heal your child from autism.
I need you to be known for something. You can post all the other stuff too, but you got to be known for one thing if you really want to be well known. If you want to break through Sheehan's wall. Now you have.
But what about, okay, let's think about TikTok. Ready? Katie Soros and Mama Tot. Okay. What are either of those people known for? Mama Tot is just your supportive TikTok friend. Katie Soros has a whole long introduction, which I'm not sure that I can read on this platform, but let's just say that involves ADHD, adult themes, and some other pieces of content. But like, she's not one thing. And Mama Tot, aka Ophelia, isn't one thing. Listen, I get that, most people aren't Oprah and no one's going to like buy a magazine of just stuff Nicole's interested in. But I have absolutely no niche on TikTok just on purpose because I just want to like meet interesting people. I don't know. I think that if you're on TikTok, you do not have to listen to this advice. I think if you are on Instagram, probably you should though.
Permission to post a little bit of the other things, but like literally when people go to your page, they need to say, oh, this is the person that does such and such. If you're telling people what you sell, the only way you're helping people is by helping to repel them.
This is like kind of snarky. Also, if someone just talked about tape measures all the time, I would think that that was funny. If they were constantly like, this tape measure is $8 and this one is $10. But if they were like, this is why this is an $8 tape measure and this is why this is a $60 tape measure, that's interesting.
Sorry. It's the truth.
I know, but just because she isn't interested in does not mean other people aren't interested. All right, as a second palette cleanser, we're going to look at her Instagram. This is, I guess, where she talks about ADHD. What is Chalene Johnson on Instagram, you ask? Oh, she's a business expert with ADHD. I post content to inspire ADHDers to grow a side hustle that delivers freedom and fulfillment. 8-figure earner with ADHD. My stories are epic. She had absolutely no ADHD content on YouTube, right? She hasn't posted any ADHD content that I've seen recently. This was our dream home, actual footage, best exercises for defined shoulders. If you're looking for the perfect lazy reel to post, this is it. Your own personal assistant, change your financial legacy. Best Apple update, ChatGPT. People who suffer from serious depression want you to understand this. Plastic surgery PSA. There's a lot of different content here, folks. So, I can appreciate a snarky video, but that one felt mean. It felt like she was being mean to the people who were watching it versus being mean to, like, I don't know, the workout industry or something. I think when I make these snark videos, I'm being mean about the marketing climate that we're in, or some of these tactics the gurus use, but I'm not being mean to you, the person watching the video. And I think that that last one felt mean. So this is the third one, and they say third time's a charm. And this video is called How to Sell Without Selling on Social Media. It is 5 minutes and 11 seconds, aka the shortest video that we've watched so far. Maybe she'll try to sell us a tape measure.
I don't read anymore. Long captions, over. Chalene, how do I sell? Right? And I see the comments like, can you please tell me how to sell? I don't know
Do you guys think I should get one of those little microphones? Would that be really cute?
how clear I can make this for you. You don't sell on social media. You don't. I made millions and millions of dollars using social media, not selling on social media. You connect. You connect. Yes, you can drive people to a website, a domain name from social media, sure. But more than not, you need to build a relationship and you need to be known. We've got to get people talking about you, or like, oh, you know so-and-so? You've got to follow them for such and such. And the way that we do that is by creating curiosity and being known for one thing. You've got to be known for one thing. So those of y'all who keep posting about all the things, you know, I just can't help it, Chalene. I love talking about chiropractic care, and I'm also into essential oils, and I'm a veterinarian who's a licensed lactation specialist, and I talk about all these things. Well, feel free to continue doing that. But no one is going to be talking about you because you do all the things. It's a mess. Have you ever walked into one of those stores
She thinks it's a mess when you talk about all the things.
where you're like, what is this store? I'm so confused. Wait,
That's how I feel about your podcast, Chalene.
okay, there's candles over here and vacuums over there and clothes and frozen yogurt in the back. I'm so confused, right? And you're never going to tell someone, oh, you've got to go to that store that's got the candles, vacuums, and frozen yogurt. Like, you have to be known for one thing before you can be known for all the things.
I once stopped at a convenience store in the middle of nowhere. I can't stress to you. I've sent 10 people to this convenience store. So if you're driving in the middle of nowhere, Maine, send me a message and I will tell you about this. I will tell you the directions to this store. It is half furniture store, half convenience store. And it is like, you know, when you have like two roommates who don't get along and they tape down the middle, and like one half of the room is a certain way and the other half is a very different way? That's what the store feels like. And it's in the middle of the woods. Anyway, if you go to Maine, let me know. I'll send you the coordinates. But I talk about that store all the time.
You will be able to expand to all the other areas, but not until you're known for one. And that does also require you having faith and persistence. Brock said it took him, what, 9 months, he said, before he really became, like, hit that point where it's like, oh my gosh, people are talking about this account.
Brock is her son. So he has two parents who are on social media, and he was persistent for 9 months before he got traction. Okay.
Rachel said the same thing. It took her 8 months. 8 months for her Pinterest to blow up. And most of you won't give it 8 weeks. Most of you won't give it 8 posts. Most of you will say, I tried and my reach tanked. That's not how entrepreneurship works. You have to be persistent. You have to keep showing up. You have to keep doing. And if in your heart you feel like it's wrong, it's okay to shift. But if you love it, you've got to give it time. You got to give it time. You got to stick to it. Because you need to build a reputation, and reputations are not built overnight. Reputations aren't built in 2 weeks. Our reputation's built in a month.
A lot of these people you're talking to are trying to build online businesses because they need the money. So the urgency that they feel is the need to have money. So whenever I tell people, yeah, I have people who are like, oh, I'm going to quit and just be a vegan blogger or something. I'm like, okay, keep your day job and just build it in your spare time. Because, you know, most blogs online make less than $100 a year. I'll see if I can find an updated stat. That was from a few years ago. If I find an updated stat, I'll put it on the screen. But point being is typically you're not just going to make money off of your content. And, you know, plan accordingly. I think that that's fine to say. But I think most people are impatient not because they expect success right away, but it's because they need money sooner rather than later. And they've been told by everybody, online gurus, that they can do it online. So they're trying to do it. And then they're trying to make their rent payment.
No, it take time. You got to be patient. It's curiosity, and that's what creates conversations. Conversations create dialogues. Those dialogues create
Isn't a conversation a dialogue?
trust. That's how it works, right? So here's what you do: you start looking at piece of content and go, I could do that. I okay, I could do something similar to that. It doesn't even have to be you on camera. I just
Who, if it doesn't have to be on me on camera, who is it? Who's going to be on camera?
can't even ever imagine a moment in time this perfect where it's actually encouraged that you copy other people's trends. It's called the trend. Like, what's the trend? Right? So that's encouraged right now for TikTok and Reels. I can't think of a time where you could create one. You can pick. You can start creating your content originally on TikTok or on Instagram Reels, doesn't matter. And it works on both platforms, almost identical.
Because Instagram is copying TikTok.
And Facebook. Reels, TikTok, all of those. That video without the logo is going to work amazingly on Facebook. We want short form video.
I'm not sure the benefit to taking out the logo. I'll be honest with you. I've seen people talk about it. And I know that the individual social media platform supposedly prefers it without the logo from the other platform, but I don't know. I see stuff on TikTok and then I see it a day later on Reddit and then I see it 2 days later on Facebook and Instagram. So
Oh, that entertains us. Y'all, we don't want to read anymore. Long captions, over. They're done. Whenever I say that, always know there's always going to be an exception. There's always one person who's like, that's not true. My long captions were great. Awesome. Good for you. But for most of us, we're like, I just don't have time. I don't have time to read. If I had time to read a book, I'd be reading a book. I don't have time to read the book under your Instagram post. Thank God, because I ain't got time to write a book every single day. I love this that you can create a 30-second video. Somebody else can come up with the concept. Somebody else can produce the music for you. And it works on all the three big ones. Sorry, what am I saying? The four big ones. Those short form videos are
Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts. Is that what she means?
crushing on Pinterest.
Oh, Pinterest.
Wow, there hasn't been a moment like this before. Pinterest used to be its own thing, TikTok its own thing, Instagram its own thing, Facebook its own thing, and now all of those platforms love short form, quick, entertaining, educating, motivational, inspirational videos.
Well, good thing because videos take a lot longer to make than writing a 140 character tweet does.
So, what are you waiting for?
So yeah, thankfully you can reuse short form video content because it certainly takes a lot more effort and time to make a video than it does to write a 140 character tweet, right? So thankfully you can use it across multiple platforms. So what did we learn from Chalene today? Besides the fact that she charges $5,000 to learn marketing. Well, I really took away three things from this set of videos. One is that she wants you to niche down to be known. She doesn't have to because she has a big enough audience. But if you talk about a bunch of random stuff, people won't want to follow that, but they will want to follow her for doing that. Short format video is king across platforms. And social media is not for selling, it's for building your reputation, it's for starting conversation, it's for being known. So don't try to sell your crap all the time. So does Chalene know what she's talking about? I would say, yeah, I think she knows broad marketing concepts, but I don't think she's keeping up with all the trends. I don't think she's like reading marketing trade journals or, seeing how TikTok advertising is changing or how, Reddit now has a sort of business website that helps brands use its platform more effectively or things like that. I don't think she's running her own marketing campaign. She obviously has a team. So whenever someone like that has a class, I'm always a little bit skeptical because stuff does change. And if you want the marketing basics, like if you want a good scaffolding, I'm sure that Google probably has an internet marketing class. I know that when I was starting, I did the HubSpot inbound marketing certification. Obviously, it's going to emphasize HubSpot's products, but it does have a pretty wide range of sort of, what is search engine optimization, like what is email marketing, kind of goes through all that stuff with obviously emphasis on their own products. I know that Salesforce has some kind of training area that has a lot of very detailed classes. So I think I would take some of those to give yourself like a good sort of broad marketing knowledge. And if you want to dive into something, there's books and courses and things like that. If you have one that you've taken that you really like that you recommend, feel free to leave it in the comments. But I don't think you need to pay $5,000 to learn about online marketing. I really don't. If you're paying $5,000, you can pay someone like me to like actually set things up and run them for you. If you're willing to pay that kind of money, just saying. So yeah, my thoughts on Chalene are that, she's pretty guru-y, and the advice she gives is not the advice she follows, which always makes me a little bit hesitant, honestly. So thanks for watching. If you like this sort of content, there's a entire Nicole Reacts playlist on the YouTube channel. And all of the content is also on the blog on our website. There's a Nicole Reacts category that has all the posts in it with the show notes. And if you have any, I guess, gurus you want me to react to or topics or anything like that, you can leave it as a comment on this video. Or if you're more shy, you can use the contact form of the website and let me know there. I've kind of moved the contact form a little lower on the page because I want to get people to book marketing consultations. So if you see book a marketing consultation, just scroll down a little bit. And there's a general contact form there, and that gets to me and I will see it. So thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to the channel. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers so I can monetize the YouTube channel and I can make a few dollars a month. Another passive income stream that Chalene Johnson would approve of, I'm sure. So thanks for considering it. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you next video. Take care.